We still have,
Yeah.
a number of minutes, but anyway.
But I'm surprised she did that, because she thought,
The camera set up here. Yeah. Just gonna do a little chanting.
love it.
Om Nishadha Janani Dharva Nirvana Bhuta Karnanimha Om Kali Shri Krishna Sankasha Mala Shamala Vise Namaha Om Ganapati Havahe Priyambhakirpati Havahe Nidhinambhakirpati Havahe Vasavam Ahamjani Bhagavamapuchasi Vardham Om Swastina Indra Purvasavaha Swastina Pusha Vishvavedaha Swastina Saksha Parishnihi Swastina Vyaspatirtatu Om Maya Prithvyam Maya Shudeshu Maya Jagantam Maya Daha Vayaspatihi Pradeshaha Santumayam Om Vishnu Bharadhamasi Vishnu Krishnatvaistavu Vishnu Churasi Vishnu Devasi Vaisnamasi Vishnudeva Om Abhir Devata Bhakta Devata Suryo Devata Chandrima Devata Vasudha Devata Rudra Devata Vidya Devata Margo Devata Vishwe Deva Devata Despati Devata Devata Varma Devata Om Yaho Shantirandar Shanti Vriti Shantirapa Shantiroshavaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishwe Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Redu Shanti Sama Shanti Rehi Om Swami Deva Savita Duritani Pura Suvyagatantina Suva Om Shanti 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 Sarva Vishwa Shishantir Bhavatu Om Durga Shinghatya Sushona Pate Jiva Shri Ram Parma Shiva Adhyam Swaha Om Yam Linga Sharira Shoshaya Swaha Om Ram Santocha Shariram Dada Swaha Om Parma Shiva Sushona Pate Mura Shingata Mura Salasa Jvala 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 Soham Hamsa Swaha Om Ahasurike Vajrike Tatswa Om Him Adhar Shakti Kamasindaya Namaha Om Hrim Mritikaya Namaha Tat Om Gurve Rakshit Govinda Bhamiyam Ravidatja Yamyam Rakshit Bharako Nasimastu Nairike Variyam Keshvo Rakshit Vayavyat Madhu Sudana Uttare Shri Rakshit Ishani Kudarakara Prabhu Bharno Vasistachat Vivikrama Evam Vastisho Rakshit Vasudeva Janavadamcha Good morning. Thanks for being here, and thanks for showing up on the stream. For those who are doing that, I'm going to slip over there. So I'm going to do a little closer to the camera, and I can finally see your comments today, and so that's nice. Tammy, Stephanie, great, and friends here in the studio. So today's class I've titled The Three Pillars of Human Awareness, is what I've titled this. And really we could just say the three pillars of awareness itself. But to speak to that, there's this, if you will, this waking state of awareness, or the physical state of awareness. And there's layers of consciousness that we can, use to also support the description of this, if you will. But the waking state is just this experience that we have of the physical world, say, or even of our physical body, because I want to relay this to our asana practice as well. And then the next state of awareness is the state of feeling. And, there's kind of a couple layers to this as well. Say, when we're in our asana practice, we can feel, what's happening to, say, the muscles when we're stretching them or strengthening them. And so that's a state of experience, it's a state of awareness of experience, if you will. And, but then the next layer to that physical experience is just the feeling that abides after the physical or within the physical experience. And it's hard to necessarily describe for each person what that is or what it's like, if you will, the state of feeling. So often we utilize an object to support the state of feeling. And the object can be an idea, it can be literally a physical apparatus, it can be, say, the object of the body, as an example. But the state of feeling, so physical experience, the state of feeling, and then finally, the third pillar of awareness is the awareness of being. And this is really the landscape within which the yogin most usefully wants to navigate in that state of, if you will, the witness of feeling or the witness of being. And so how this shows up, say, in our asana practice is there's instructions that are given to create a form of the body. And that's our collectively, our physical state of awareness, what's happening to the body, how to create the form. And then once we're in the form, there's physical body sensations that begin to emerge through the stretching and the strengthening of the body. So that's kind of that next layer of feeling that I was, guiding us towards. It's kind of a bridge, if you will, between like physical experience and pure feeling experience. And then after that's kind of organized, we then begin to just feel in a more comprehensive way. And so the feeling is not necessarily isolated to physical experience. And then finally, we're, sustaining, say, the yoga pose, the asana form. And then we can begin to identify with the state of being. And that's really, that that state of being isn't necessarily associated with experience. In the yogic sense, experience is always going to be a limiting quality. It's always going to be some derivative of something that's greater. And so if we have this prospect, if you will, of self-realization or enlightenment, I'm actually going to grab my phone and my glasses. I want to read you something. Then the prospect of that capturing and enlightenment, that's a big word, for kind of what we're doing here, but it's really just allowing for the apparatus of our consciousness to perceive the field of consciousness itself. So kind of what got me charged up most of the week, there was a comment that was revealed by Adyashanti, who's like this Zen Buddhist teacher. He's been around for a long, long time. And I know I talk about Mount Madonna. He came to Mount Madonna, and every year he would come. And here's what he said about enlightenment. He said, enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seen through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagine to be true. And that's really obviously very significant. In my experience, everyone will say they want to discover the truth right up until they realize that the truth will rob them of their deepest held ideas, beliefs, hopes, and dreams. The freedom of enlightenment means much more than experience of love and peace. It means discovering a truth that will turn the view of yourself and the world upside down. That's how we finish that off. And what I would offer is that it's this migration from the experience of the world to the experience of awareness. And it's that migration through the experience of awareness, or rather of the world, through, physical apparatus to feeling, to being. And why, these spiritual teachers so often, say it's the dismantling of things, is that for the mind to have the capacity to perceive these subtle regions of perception is very significant, if you will, a process or accomplishment. And the only way that really can happen is that our relationship to the physical being subsides. And ultimately, in this view, which is a widely held view, it's, if you will, entirely accurate, that there's an eradication of individuation, if you will. And so the 3 pillars of awareness is how we'll kind of tone our practice, today, our asana practice. And I'll guide us through these varied moments, if you will, where we're in experience, and then we're in feeling, and then hopefully we can, develop this, this non-experience of being, if you will. So, thanks. Putting that with me. And so just get comfortable in your seated position with eyes gently closed. And first, feel, if you will, feel the backs of the feet on the earth, the sits bones. Just feel the very grounded nature, the place of contact that the body has with the earth. And then from there, I allow for the back muscles to firm up a little bit so the spine is elongated. So there's length in the spine. the collarbones are broadening. The elbows can kind of stack under the shoulders, and that just supports kind of a broadness in the torso. There's a little bit of energy that's trying to reach the crown of the head a little higher. So there's that extension that we find in the spine. And then you may notice that the core muscles have toned up, the abdominal rector muscles. Let those soften and begin to belly breathe. And so literally push the belly out as you inhale and draw the belly to the spine as you exhale. So here's the first experience of the physical apparatus. You might even migrate through the sensations of the body, whether it be the grounded nature, the body on the earth, or the length of the spine, the tone of the back muscles, the broadness of the collarbones, the length through the crown of the head, a little bit of sensation of breathing into the belly, all points of awareness that we have in contact with the physical world. But then gently begin to allow your awareness to kind of migrate around the field of the body and just notice how you're feeling. There's some emotional content that's apparent, or some thinking content. Slightly connected to the physical world, but indescribable because it's of an energy. And then it's almost like you take one step behind those experiences and just witness yourself, witness the body, witness the mind. When we notice that the requirement to create that is an absolute stillness. Absolute stillness. Doing, feeling, and witnessing. Not for an intention to appear some help, something vital in your life right now that has your attention, and maybe as you format that intention, you can see its layers too. You can see how the physical apparatus of that intention, and then when you feel, and then you can step back from that intention and just witness it. We'll chant a couple of ohms here, a few ohms to evoke the vibration of the sadhana. Move our bodies here soon. And exhale the breath completely, and then give a nice big inhale. friends. Just gently open the eyes here. We'll stay on a seated position, but you may want to slip off of your support. If you're on it, I'm just going to adjust this camera. It's right in the rays of the sun. It's kind of nice, but it's also difficult to see. And from this position, let's extend our hands out and then interlace the fingers. And then just gently float the hands and arms over the head. Just breathe here. Feel how this shows up in the body. So allow that aspect of your perception to organize. Inhale, breath. And exhale, float the hands and arms down. And then round we go back here, rock back from the sacrum. So stretch the back body. Okay, and then inhale, float hands and arms back up. And exhale, rounding, and just continue this pacing, this rhythm. So lengthening. Exhale, rounding. Just find your own breath cycle. What happens in yoga ultimately is as we move the apparatus of the physical form, the subform begins to stir, and that sense of feeling expands. So our access to that nature of feeling is supported by kind of opening some of the gateways of the body here, subtle body mostly. And then one last one will meet at the top here. And then gently float the hands and arms shoulder height, let the right palm turn up, left palm turn down. And then just twist the arms here. Pretty familiar, a little stir of the upper arm bone and the shoulder joint. Into that. Yeah. And then swim the arms a little bit. So just allow the joint capsules of the wrist, the elbow, shoulder, even the head and neck to soften a little bit. Lovely that way. Ooh. And then neutral position, rotate the wrist forward, so a little stretch of the forearms and the fingers, into that. And then neutral here, big inhale and exhale. The right arm under the left, so forearms, palms come together, elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back. And then give the head a little bit of a stir, a little stretch of the neck. We keep squeezing the forearms together so the shoulders and upper back continue to open in that way. And then neutral position here with the head, and then inhale, sweep hands and arms wide, so really wide open. And then switch it out, so left under the right, so forearms and palms come together, elbows out and up, and again a little stir of the head. Right through that. And then neutral position, and then inhale, float hands and arms wide, exhale, then behind you now. And release the fingers and just let the head of your arm draw back. And then just continue to kind of observe how the apparatus of the physical body attracts your awareness as we kind of just go through our little opening movements here. Breathe deep. Yeah, and then soften the grip of the hands, and then extend the right arm out, the left palm turns up, and then inhale, float arm up, and exhale it over, just lengthen into the side body. So put some intention to reach to the tips of the fingers, let the heart spin open, kind of ground that left knee a little bit. Just breathe here. And then bend the elbow, draw the hand to the back of the head, lift the chin just a little bit, so press the head into the hand. And then maybe bend the right elbow just a scotch, sinking a little deeper into it. Breathe deeply, so allow the breath to support experience here. And then inhale, straighten the arm, reaching out of the pose, release the arm down and switch. So extend the left hand arm, of course. Right turns up, inhale, float arm up. Exhale over the head and just breathe here. Stay with the breath. Lengthen, lengthen. And then bend the elbow, draw the hand to the back of the head again, lift the chin. Stay with your breathing. Yeah, and then maybe a little bend of that left elbow if you want to sink a little deeper. And then inhale, reach down straight to the sky. Exhale, release it down. And then a little twist here, so palms turn up, forearms over the head, and then spiral to the right, and release the left hand arm down on the outside of that right knee, the right arm behind you. Reassert length in the spine, so sit tall, like you're drawing the energy through the crown of the head. Breathe into the belly here. And then again, now we begin to just watch the experience. And so we're then tuning into the sense of feeling. And then migrate that sense of feeling, past just the physical kind of sensation into just a more generalized aura of feeling. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, soften out the twist. And we'll switch this out. So float hands and arms over the head, reach real tall. And then twist to the left. Taking that right hand on the outside of the left knee, left arm behind you. Sit nice and tall here. Breathe into the belly. Stay with the breath. Feel the sensation, and it can universalize the sensation of feeling. Inhale, breathing, and exhale, soften out the twist. Coming out of the twist, and then let's move off of the seated position. So we'll make our way to all fours here. So come to all fours. When you're ready. And just begin to circle the hips, say, in a clockwise fashion. Include the rhythm of breathing. So as the heart flows forward, capture an inhale, and as it draws back, exhale. Feel free to move organically as well. So if there's other sensations that can be included in how you're moving and breathing, just feel free to explore body, and then just recognize what's happening when you do so, though, is that there's a sense of physical experience with the body that's guiding movement, and your attraction to that, say, experience of it. And then recognize that in the experience of, what's happening with the body, there's a possibility of a feeling emerging, and then awareness of that. Okay, and then neutral position here. Little twist, and so draw the left hand under the face and sweep the right hand to the sky. Pretty familiar. Give the wrist a spin. Breathe very deeply here. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, feeding the right hand through on the inside left shoulder and the earth from that left hand reaches to the top edge, hips drift to the right to seal the twist. And just breathe here. See with the breath. And take a nice big inhale. And exhale, the left hand underneath you, ground it. And then you'll float the right hand and arm up to the sky, and we'll switch this out. And so ground when you're ready, the right hand. It'll float the left hand again, wrist spins. Breath is very, very deep here. A nice big inhale, and exhale, floating the left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder. And to that right hand reaches to the top edge of the mat, hips to the left now. And breath is deep once again. And a nice big inhale, and exhale. The right hand now back underneath you, grounded, and it'll float the left hand arm to the sky. We'll do the side body thing, always really nice. Take the hands off the mat to the right side. Here, a big inhale, and then exhale, arcing into the left side body, forehead towards the earth, and just breathe deeply. Ground the left hand, tuck the outside of the left hip back a little. Just deep breathing. And then it's very clear that sensation of the physical body experience. And you can kind of expand from that
point of contact with the body to a broader aura feeling. And then gently float up to neutral. And we'll switch this out. So take the hands off the mat to the left side. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, arcing into the right side body, forehead towards earth. Just breathe very deeply. Oh, yeah. And then once again, ground the hands really firm here, float up to neutral position, so back, then into tabletop. And then from tabletop, we'll extend the arms out in front just a little bit, then turn the right palm up, and then inhale, and exhale, just sink into the right shoulder. And just continue to explore, again, how the awareness of feeling can then migrate to the awareness of feeling. So we're just working with these first two layers of experience, moving from form to more formless state of awareness is ultimately the guidance here. And float up to neutral. We'll switch, so ground the right hand, left palm turns up, inhale, exhale, sinking. The three pillars of awareness. And then gently float up into neutral position. And then from here, we're back into tabletop. And then from here, just extend the right leg out to the right leg sill, the toes point forward, pretty familiar. It's that nice stretch of the inner groin of that right leg, and then bend the elbows, come onto the forearms here. And once again, just breathe here. And then floating up to neutral, not done, no ground. That left hand's for another twist coming up, float the right arm here. And then bend the right elbow and just kind of squeeze the shoulder blade onto the back, stay with the breath. And then inhale, reach to the stars. Exhale, float this right hand very far forward in front of you, land on the fingertips, and then bend the left elbow and just sink into the heart here. So deepen into the hip once again. And then nice big inhale and exhale back into neutral. And then we'll switch this sequence out. And so extend the left leg out in front of you, toes point forward. Breathe here, hips stretch back. Elbows bend down to the forearms here. Stay with the breath. Take a moment with that. So physical experience and then feeling. And then gently float up to neutral here. And then grounding now the right hand, left arm floats. So feel into that. And then bend the left elbow and just draw the shoulder blade onto the back towards the spine. Just deepening into the twist. Gently reach the sky. Float the left hand forward again, fingertips ground, then bend right elbow, sink the heart deep here. Stay with the breath. Keep reaching forward. So try and find more kind of extension in the body this way. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale back into neutral position, back into tabletop position. And then we'll meet into downward facing dog. So toes tuck under, hips lift. Of course, take a moment, just kind of wiggle. Going into down dog. Let's just kind of pacing the body, if you will, into the practice. Just staying with the breath. Downward facing dog. Just move the camera again. Just running from the sun a little bit here today. Maybe paddle the feet a little bit, so a little movement of the feet.
And then lift the heels, come up onto the tippy toes, lifting the heels. And sink the heart, keep the heels lifted, lifting, and the likely sensation is more kind of stretch in the hamstrings. Okay. And then release the heels back down and bend the right knee ground, right hand stretch the left calf, Achilles that way. And then straighten and switch it by left knee, left hand grounds, right calf, Achilles. Pedaling between the two, wiggling of the hips, if you will. Breath is deep. And then gently walk the feet to the hands so we'll meet in a forward fold here at the top of that Uttanasana. Notice that, Uttanasana. You can stir the head yes and no, or grabbing opposite elbows if you want to feel a little traction in the spine. You can sway the torso. That seems to always help reveal different sensations. And then again, just notice how sensation kind of produces this object of awareness. So that's kind of the very physical apparatus of physical perception object, being the body specifically, physical sensation. And then there's feeling. You can pivot to that sense of feeling. So the awareness begins to universalize more just from the contact point of sensation to include just observation. And then half lift here, so hands mid-shin, so lengthen from tail to crown. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, lengthen out as you fold down. So chin tucks, hands release at the bottom. Slow movement and breath here again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding, chin tucks. And one more of these. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, and put a little bend in knees and send the left leg back into a lunge. So a high sprinter stance here. Fingertips support our pose this way. And then we'll move with our breathing. So inhale, straight front leg, draw the forward towards the shin. And then exhale, bend the front leg knee. Then two more times this way. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then walk this right foot out to the right. The foot opens. The hand is on the inside of the right foot. Both hands ground. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bend elbows and sink here. And then inhale, straighten arms. And then exhale, bend, sink. Yeah. And then one more of these. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend, again, sink. And then maybe come onto the forearms if the hip will allow for some depth here. Or the hands are fine, whatever's suitable. Stay with the breathing. It's really kind of opening the shell of the physical form here this morning. And then gently let the hands ground back under the shoulders. We'll meet in high plank. So just sweep that right leg back, high plank, push up here. Stay with the breath. The hips lift until the belly tones. And so kind of draw the hips up until you feel the belly button draw to the spine. And then float the right leg here, hip height, stay with the breath. Extend the leg back, so put some energy. And a lifted leg, inhale, breathing. Next, I'll need a chest, give it a squeeze. Then inhale, leg behind you. Always just being aware. Exhale, knee to chest, squeeze. One more, inhale, leg behind you. Next, exhale, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you, release it back down, so we're back into high plank. Stay with it, float the left leg here. Kind of energize the legs, so extend through the big toe mound. Shoulder blades kind of ground down the back here. Inhale, breathing. And next on the chest, squeeze.
Inhale, leg back. Exhale, knee to chest. One more, inhale, leg back. Exhale, knee to chest. Up. Then inhale, leg back. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, breathing. And then exhale, release to the knees. All the way to the belly. So nicely done, friends. Cobra pose, hands ground, feet pelvis as well. And then use the muscles of the back. Float on up here. Shoulders move away from the ears. So enjoying the tone of the back. Then inhale, breath. And exhale, float torso down. And then again, inhale, float on up. And exhale down. One more of these, inhale, float on up. And then tuck the back toes under. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog we meet. Take a couple of deep, really nourishing breaths here. The body be fed as the pulmonary circuit begins to come under a little more pressure, the breathing, heart rate, temperature, oxygen saturation in the blood. Just be aware of that. A little bit of knees, then the left foot steps to the left hand. Fingertips. Yep. And once again, breathe in, moving. So inhale, straighten the front leg, or draws towards the chin, then exhale down the front leg knee. And then inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Then step the left foot open, left hand grounds on the inside. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, bend, elbow sink. And then inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend, sink. One more, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, sink, and then possibly ground on the forearms here. Just take a moment. Go into that. Breathe deeply. Just allowing the fabric of the body to deepen. Back the quad stays pretty firm here though. And then gently, straighten the arms, kind of track that left foot over to the right, so ankle, knee, hip align, a big step to the top, and that's a forward fold here. Breathe. Go stir the head again, yes and no. Inhale, flat back, half lift, pause here. Little bend knees to cactus, the arms flat back to standing. Reach hands and arms over the head, little sway in the body. Going into that. Oh, yay. Nice. And a big inhale, reach real tall. Exhale, put the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, extend front spine, go tall. Little bend knees, exhale, hinging at the hips, holding forward, hands and arms float over the head. As appropriate, you can re-straighten the legs a little bit. Hold. Just breathe here. Yep. Big inhale. And exhale, release your grip with the hands, and then send the right leg back now in that lunge. And we'll come up into crescent. So draw the upper body up. Take a minute here, firm up to back of the quad, a little squeeze of the inner thighs so there's that stability, grounds the form. Then we reach to the sky here. And just stay with the breath. Go into that. And then with an inhale, bend the elbows. So cactus the arms, the heart is just flourishing. Again, inhale, breath. And exhale, pulse forearms towards one another. And then inhale, sweep open. And exhale, pulse. One more, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, palms. And then inhale, reach to the sky. Reach, reach, reach. A big inhale. And exhale, just sweep all the way down the hand spine, step back. Plank, I push up here. Pause. Claim the breath. Inhale, exhale to the knees. And once again, to
to the belly. This time, Salambhasana, so locust pose. Draw the hands down by the hips, palms face the earth here. Yeah, and then kind of ground the hands into the earth. Let's just first start with the upper body. So exhale the breath completely. And then inhale, float just the torso. Kind of bend the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades together and the shoulders away from the ears. Just pause there, stay with the breath. Then nice big inhale. And exhale, float the torso down. Then inhale, float the torso, and then the legs. So float the legs up too. Keep squeezing shoulder blades together. Stay with the breath. Inhale, breathing. And exhale, float down. And then 2 more times. Inhale, float torso, float legs. Pause here. Breathe. And nice big inhale. And exhale, float down. And 1 more. Float on up, legs and torso. Stay with the breath. Breathe deeply. Nice big inhale. Exhale, float down. Hands underneath the armpits. Inhale, push up through high plank, high push up. Then exhale, lift hips back. Into down dog. Take a moment here again. A couple of deep breaths. We'll bend the knees and then stepping out the right foot to the right hand. There's the lunge. And then float torso. Once again, take a moment. Get organized in your stance. And then float hands and arms to the sky. Stay with the breath. Go into that for a moment. Yeah. Back of the quad is firm, heel lifting, core active. And then cactus the arms here, so bend the elbows, heart. Once again, flourishes, inhale, breath. And exhale, pulse forms. And then inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. And again, inhale, sweep open. Exhale, pulse. Palms come together. Hands and arms reach to the sky. Just reach up and up and up. Nice big inhale. And exhale, back with steps fully forward. Top the mat. Take a moment. And then inhale, half lift, Ardha. Little bend the knees, cactus the arms, flat back to standing. Reach to the sky. Put a little sway in the body. A little turn of the wrists if you like. Yay. Then inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Little movement and breath here. One breath, one movement. Stay with me here. Inhale, flat back, half lift. Exhale, fold the knees and the left leg back into lunge. Then inhale, float upward body and arms. So version of Surya Namaskar in salutation. And then exhale, float hands and arms down. Plant, step back, high plank, high push up. Then inhale, breath. Exhale, 8 points bowing, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pull forward, cobra or up dog, you choose. Then exhale, lift the hips back, down dog. Then float bend knees, left foot steps, left hand. Then inhale, float upper body, and arms to reach again. Then exhale, backward steps, flowing forward, Uttanasana. Then inhale, reach all the way to standing, Urdhva Namaskar, arms with head gaze up. And then bring it into the heart center, Namaskar. And then again, inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold the knees right, leg goes back. Inhale for the torso, arms to reach up. And exhale, just gently float all the way out of it. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up. Inhale, breath. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, pull forward, cobra, up dog. And exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Yeah. Right foot steps, right hand. Inhale, float torso, float arms. And exhale, back foot steps, moving forward. Yep, and then it'll reach all the way to standing. And then float hands and arms down by the sides here. Let the eyes close. Take a moment, soften the knees, palms turn open. Recognize first the point of contact with the feet in the earth. And then move to a more kind of comprehensive field of feeling. We call it the aura. Just feel. And then it's almost like the fabric of your awareness steps away from like the attachment of feeling to observing. So witnessing, call this witness awareness. So the conditions of experience, as Adyashanti guided us in his language, is that they essentially are abolished, they recede. So we're just witnessing. Much of the time when we can be the witness of stillness or the peace, much is accomplished there. So gently open the eyes here. We'll do a little vinyasa to find down dog. So inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Chin tucks, hands come down. Inhale, half lift, fold. Exhale, hinge, draw the legs back, high plank. Big inhale. Exhale, Ashtanga Pranam, Asana 8 points. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. We know that is up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. We'll find ourselves in warrior one. So inhale, float the right leg behind you. And exhale, right foot, right hand pivot. Left toe down, come to standing here. Pause for a moment. Squeeze inner thighs. Core is active. When you're ready, float arms to the sky. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend the front spine, go tall. Exhale, bow torso on the inside of this right leg. Inhale gets the pause, so inhale here. And then long exhale. And then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky, so reach up again. And then exhale, hands to the waist. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, and then exhale, pivot 180 degrees to the left, so spin all the way around. So spin all the way around, and warrior one again. So that left foot is forward here, float hands and arms over the sky, over the head rather, so to the sky, reaching. Big inhale. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale, extend front spine. And exhale, draw the torso on the inside of this left leg, hands and arms over the head. And then again, inhale gets the pause, so inhale, breath. And then exhale, breath. And then inhale, float all the way up and out of it, so hands and arms reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg, and then exhale, pivot all the way around. So Virabhadrasana 1, warrior one again, facing the front, so the right foot is forward. Then inhale, reach the hands and arms to the sky. Stay with the breath, and then go through this progression where you're first feeling the feet on the earth, those squeeze of the inner thighs, firmness of the back leg quad, core active, back is firm to create kind of an extended back bend as the arms reach to the sky. So all the physical awareness points, and then allow for a sense of feeling to emerge. So just feeling. And then watching. witness awareness. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten front leg. Exhale, pivot again 180 degrees to the left. So we spin all the way around. Hands and arms float to the sky. Once again, feel the contact of the feet in the earth. Little squeeze of the inner thighs, back to the quad firm, core firm. Hands reach as tall as they can. So physical apparatus. Feeling apparatus, so just begin to feel. And then observe the three pillars of awareness. Inhale, breath. Exhale, both the hands and arms down. Inhale, straighten front leg. Exhale, pivot again, 180 degrees in warrior two. So warrior two pose. Right foot is forward. Adjust the stance, lengthen this foot position, hands and arms, shoulder height. Stay with your breathing. Gaze to the middle finger of the front hand. Allow the drishti to support kind of the emptiness of experience here. And sink a little lower. Maybe adjust this stance length. And then right forearm, right thigh, left arm over the head. So really extending the side leg here. Heart spins open. Gaze to the hand of that left arm. Really extends the spine. And then straighten the right arm towards the earth. Sink a little deeper in the form. Stay with the breath. Breathe deep. And then bring the left hand to the sacrum, the palm down. So let the heart spin open still. Breathe. And now, so recognize the sensation of body, feeling, and then observing. So witnessing. So in these moments where there's more, say, tension in the form, can we pivot back to feeling and then observation? So exhale the breath. And then reverse warrior, so straighten the front leg all the way, reach that right arm over the head, and slide the left hand down the left leg, and just breathe very deeply. Yep. A nice big inhale. And exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, thumbs turn to the sky. So pause here for a moment and just reflect on this idea that you can experience physical sensation, but at the same time you can feel and also be the observer of the awareness of all of that. Big inhale, and exhale, reach forward, reach. When the hip stops moving, just tip here. So tilt the torso, reach. Right hand earth, left hand stars, take the gaze up, spin the heart open, so ground the shoulder blade of that left, back onto the back ribs. And then we'll do what's called the Utthita extending. So draw the left arm over the head towards the front of the room. And just keep reaching, keep spinning the heart open. So, right, Utthita, Trikonasana, extend at that angle. Exhale, you're breathing here. And then inhale, float up and out of it. Bend the front leg, knees to our back into warrior two. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten front leg and then pivot that right foot in, left foot opens. So we're moving on the mat here. Warrior two again. When you're ready, hands and arms reach shoulder height. So continue then to include the sensation of physical experience, feeling, and witness. Now we're incorporating all three pillars of awareness. Sink a little lower. And then left forearm, left thigh, and right arm overhead now. Really ground the back foot, so feel that. Give this pose stability, so extension can happen. Take the gaze to the hand, and then straighten the left arm. Sink deeper. We're going to sustain this just a little bit and go through the fabric of the pillars of awareness. And then bring the hand to the sacrum. Heart spins open. Breathe. sensation, feeling, observation. Witness. Exhale, breath. Reverse warrior, straight front leg all the way. Float the left arm over the head, right arm slides down the leg. So a nice big stretch in the side body. Big inhale. And exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, thumbs. Turn to the sky here again. Big inhale. And exhale, just reach deep into it. Eventually tipping into the form, deepening into the sensation of the form. Shoulders move away from the ears, gaze to the thumb. That right hand, stay with the breath. Then a big inhale and exhale, that right arm over the head. So Utthita, extended. Stay with the breathing. Breathe deep here. Yeah. Exhale, breath. Inhale, float up and out of it. Then from the knees, we're back into warrior two. Form again, inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten front leg, pivot, the left foot in. So staying in this position, Prasarita Padottanasana, one-legged angle forward, big inhale, and exhale, hinging at the hips, forward. Gently release the hands down when that's appropriate. Let the weight build into the big toe mound, so ankle, knee, hip aligned. Breathe here. One might say that when we're actively trying to engage with awareness, then the capacity of awareness can build within us. Right? So often we're, say, obscured, would be the best word, from actually trying to contact the moment with its perception. Inhale, half lift. And then we'll twist, so ground the left hand under the face. Inhale, float right arm to the sky. Just breathe. Deeply breathe. Our yoga practice is this one place where we're encouraged just again and again to invite awareness. Inhale, breath. Exhale, gently release down. Ground hand ready for left. Breathe here. Big inhale, and exhale, release, hand and arm down. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, hands to the waist. A little bend in the knees, and just inhale, flat back to standing. So we're going to make the way to standing here. Pivot the right foot, and then just step the back foot to the top of the mat. So we're knee. Pause here. Just take a moment. Let all that integrate. And let awareness integrate. Just gently inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. So you can open the eyes. And little vinyasa here. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold meat and down dog. Just gently step the feet and legs back into down dog. And then pausing here. We'll open up the hips a little bit even more. So float the right leg hip height here initially. Then take the leg higher. Let the hip naturally spin open. Work the foot straight to the sky initially. Really open up into the inner groin. Really ground firmly the right hand. Feel that. And then bend the right knee. Track the foot over to the left. Just keep opening the hip. Stay with the breath. Then you'll reach the leg straight. Exhale, gently release it all the way down. And then float the left leg hip height here. Pause. Breathing. And then the leg goes higher. Hip opens. Leg straight initially. Ground firmly the left hand. And then bend the left knee. Track the foot over to the right. Just open up into the hip. Then straighten the leg.
Exhale, release it down. Inhale, breath. Exhale to release. And then make your way to child's pose. So hips to the heels, forehead earth. Maybe float the hands back to the ankles. Breathe into the belly. And then gently inhale, rise, and we'll come to stand on the knees. We'll do Ustrasana. You know this is camel pose. So again, as we're moving, just support the three pillars of awareness: physical, subtle, causal. Palms turn up, hands to the low back. Maybe cup the hands, then open them so the fabric of the hands are supporting the elbow spine completely. Let the hips kind of reach forward and lengthen through the crown of the head. The chin's going to tuck a little bit, the toes spread. And just breathe, just deepen into the back bend. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Stay with the breath here. And then for some of you, it may be appropriate or a little experiment to draw the hands towards the heels. Maybe that's accessible. If so, keep reaching the heart to the sky and keep lengthening through the crown of the head. So we're just inviting a distinct opening of the front of the body here, hip flexors, quads. But again, as the body opens, there's physical, and then there's feeling, and then there's the witness. And gently let the hands go back to the low back. If you have them on the heels, come up and out of it. And then a little bit knees, hips to the heels. Let the knees separate. And then we walk the hands out long as we drape the torso on the inside of the thighs here. Forehead to the earth. And then breathe into the belly. So it's a very distinct movement of the abdominal wall forward as you safely inhale. Good. And then gently inhale, come on up. And up to a seated position. And what we'll do next is extending the right leg out in front of you and bending the left knee and draping this left ankle towards the left hip, like so. So we're in this position. For those on the stream, the left knee is bent. And then capture the shin of that right leg with the hands. And then instead of trying to fold down, lengthen up and out of the base of the pelvis. Keep the toes spread of the right foot. It's likely that the sensation is fairly dynamic. Breathe here. Stay with the breath. Keep lengthening up. So let the action be up. And then there'll be a natural migration a little deeper into the form, but it's likely already fairly significant stretch in the meat of the hamstring. To take that any further, to create any deeper process. And then gently walk the hands up the leg. We're not done though with this form. So from this position, let the hands draw behind you and just lean back. And just allow the quad to stretch. So come onto the forearms. Some of you may want to come all the way down to the back. I have things behind me, so I'm not going to go any deeper. But some of you may want to deepen the stretch in the quadricep. And stay with the breath here. Oh yeah. Spread the toes of that left foot Really notice how that contraction expands the sensation in the quad. Let your awareness travel from just its kind of binding quality of form to feeling, to awareness, witness. And then gently, very carefully begin to navigate your way out of this, and then we'll come onto the right hip, extend the left leg, and then we just switch this out. So bending now that right knee, tracking it towards the hip on that right side. Now doing what you can to ground both of the sits bones. Sit tall in the length of the spine to capture the shin once again now of the left leg. And again, just notice if you put energy to go up, that it really creates a dynamic sensation of the stretch of the hamstring. And then if you go down, it releases the pressure. And you might even kind of experiment with that sensation where you're lengthening up and then you round. And then just notice how that sensation changes. And so essentially the understanding is if we're trying to lengthen out of the base of the pelvis, the stretch of the hamstring will be more dynamic. Stay with the breath. Toe spread of the left foot, so keep that active. So, and then we can watch the hamstring, but then feeling the sensation of witnessing. And then gently, once again, we'll come out of it, walk the hands up the leg, let the hands sweep behind you, and begin to come onto, once again, the forearms, the elbows, as we allow the quadricep, now that right leg, to open. Just a little experiment, spread the toes of the right foot, so ground the foot into the earth. Kind of lengthen through the crown of the head, so keep extending the spine. Long here, friends. Stay with the breath. From the sensation to feeling to witness. And then we'll once again gently navigate our way out of this. So come on to the hands here, lift the torso up off the earth, and just extend now that right leg. We'll take kind of an equalizer pose. We know this is the Danasana staff pose, hands ground under, the shoulders just sit nice and tall here. Stay with the breath. Just let the energies of the body re-assimilate into kind of a comprehensive neutrality. And then Baddha Konasana, and so we bend both the knees, let the soles track towards one another as the feet draw to the pelvis. So capture the feet and step. And then sit nice and tall, and as you draw tall, let the knees float down. So just a little energy to open into the inner groin. And again, the spine is extended. Some of you may want to lean forward out of the root of the pelvis to create a deeper sensation in the inner groins. I treat that one pretty tenderly. I have a little tenderness in the knee that I always make sure I support. Breathe. Heavy arm bones draw back. So again, that activation of the muscles of the back is really the energy that lengthens the front spine. And then gently soften the grip of the hands here. Muscularly float the knees towards one another. And then for those of you here in the studio, I'm going to ask that you spin around 180 degrees. We'll meet on our backs here. Your heads will be at the top of the mat. Those on the stream, just make your way suitable onto your back here. Take a moment, just let everything settle. Maybe a big stretch of the body, so reach the hands and arms long over the head. Mhm. And then bend the knees, let the feet go flat to the earth, a figure four. So draw the right foot above the left knee. So there's the figure four. Interlace the fingers behind the left knee. You can place that right elbow into the knee crease and put a little energy to float that right knee forward, or draw the left knee towards the torso for a little more sensation in the right hip. And then eventually, when you're ready, with an inhale, straighten the left leg, send through the heel and the big toenail of the left foot. Just feel into that. And then gently bend the left knee. We'll come all the way out of this and switch. So ground the left foot and round the right. Switching left foot above right knee, interlace fingers. When you're ready, take a moment there first. Let the stretching now that left hip really develop. And when you're ready, straighten the right leg. Again, extending through the heel and the big toenail. Breathe here. And then gently we'll unravel here, so bending the right knee, planting the right foot, moving the left, both feet are flat here. And then we'll come into eagle leg twist. So draw the right leg up and over the left, maybe wrap around the calf, shift the hips to the right, and the knees to the left. So again, the arms are at a T or cactus position. The gaze drifts to the right. Breathe into the belly. Grounding that right shoulder blade or so. Don't get too stuck in how that should be. Such a deep twist in the body. And then just notice again, once again, awareness of feeling, awareness of witnessing. So it's almost like let your awareness of the sensation of the body just completely be vacated. It's like, oh yeah, right. This is that disassembly. Some of the ceremonies that y'all have participated with me in, there's this dismembering so we can remember. It's the process of remembering. And gently let the knees go back up to a neutral position here. Unravel, and we switch entirely. So kind of begin to move the hips to the left and then float left leg over right, wrap calf possible. Shift the hips more and more to the left, and then the knees to the right. Oh, gaze to the left. Once again, just breathe into the belly. And move through the 3 pillars of awareness. Gently let the knees float up to neutral here, and then unravel once again. the knees into the chest, give them a little bit of a squeeze here. Okay. And then grab your blocks and then place your block under your sacrum. So feet ground, hips lift, block under the sacrum. You choose the height. Sometimes the higher height can be most suitable here. So we're just supported bridge, the palms turn up. Just allow that feeling to first be revealed. And then when you're ready, walk the legs out long on your mat. So we're draping the body entirely over the block here. And then once the legs are long, reach them a little longer. So muscularly extend through the feet a little more. And then as an experiment, drop the belly button to the spine and just hold it there for a moment or two, whatever's feeling good. Knowing the fabric of the abdominal muscles to open. And just gently, when we're ready here, so bend in the knees, so back, and we'll stand the block though, and then just straighten the legs to the sky, so we reach Karni Mudra. We know this, we've done it every time. One special thing we can do though, is take the face of the block and make it flush against the sacrum. And so you turn the bottom edge of the block on edge. So the face is flush. The legs are, kind of in a V shape. The eyes can close here. We'll be here for a moment. Settle in. Thanks, friends. So just bend in the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Call this kind of a temple position with the legs, the feet drift towards the pelvis. And then if you want to give it a try from this position, release the feet to the earth. Be mindful, this can be fairly sensitive to the hips. Just take a moment there. And then gently let the feet and reground. Lift the hips, move the block. The hips gently float back to the earth here. Arms reach over the head long. So a nice full body stretch initially. So support the length of the body. And then hug the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze that way. Come on, side to side. And massage the body. So just creating samatha. And then our pre-shavasana breath retention. So extend the legs out long, the feet naturally. Open up your palms, turn up, get comfortable, whatever accompaniments you may want for shavasana, corpse pose. Exhale the breath completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and just wait on it. So inhale and hold the breath. Silently exhale, breathing. We'll do one more of these. I'll cue us to pooch out the belly. So you hold the breath. So exhaling and then nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. Pooch out the belly. Again, very silently exhale. Extend the exhale, go to the very bottom, bottom, bottom of the exhale. Allow this to carry you into Shavasana. Close. You know, Shavasana is that place where we support a sense of beingness. Orientation of peace and
within the stillness is the witness. And witness awareness. And recognize that it's unto itself. Though. It's a part of the individual nature, but it's unpossessed by the nature. And recognize that it also surrounds the body, surrounds the space that, say, one is occupying with the body. It's within the stillness. Just gently breathe into the belly so that the belly floats. So you notice the quality of the, say, the stillness is self-sustained. It didn't have anything to do with what you did or did not do. It's into itself. And gently allow the body to stir organically. And maybe float the head side to side, a little movement of the feet and the hands. Just gently returning to the apparatus of form and recognize that the apparatus of awareness is still prevalent. And eventually a little stretch of the arms over the head. Make our way to the left side, and that feels good. Eventually coming up to a seated position here. Seated. Take a moment to establish seated meditation position. Yeah. We've consumed a fair amount of time already this morning. So our breath and our meditation pretty brief here. Get comfortable in the seated position and We'll first integrate deep yoga breathing with kumbhak, which is normalized how we practice the kumbhak. As a reminder, is breath suspension. So we're getting to the very tip, top of the inhale, bottom of the exhale. Continue to filter air in and out of the lungs for a few counts to suspend. And one might discover ultimately the stillness in each one of those endpoints of experience. This slowing down of the breath is really conducive to the pranic climate inside the form, the subtle body, whereby we're through consciously breathing slowly, we're building prana. Exhale breath, particularly its suspension, can be particularly luminous to the subtle body. That next inhale, very, very slow, even if the nervous system is demanding oxygen to the blood system. Bring some management, stewardship of the breath. Just recognize that the observation of how you're breathing is that very, very first layer of awareness, pillar of the form. It's really expanding into supporting the pillar of feeling. Eventually that pillar of feeling allows for the access of witness to emerge. So just do one more round and then let the breath return to more subtle movement of breathing into just the belly. Meditation, particularly for the yogis, we've stirred and stimulated and increased the volume of our pranic climate, that which allows us to feel. We let that be vacated as well. And behind all of that sensation is the still fabric of witness consciousness, witness awareness. The gateways to that, the orientation can be in what's called Hridayam, the heart center behind the very bottom of the sternum, inside the cavity of the chest, or just above the top of the head. Choose what might be suitable for you. The material world is conditioned to participate, so there may be thought formation that appears as you witness possibly that emerge. Let it be echoed by Om, and then allow the inner climate to pivot back to the stillness, to the witness. Thought is shadowed by Om. Emptiness of presence. chanting the mantra Om to complete the practice. So the breath, inhaling here. Two more times inhaling. Three shantis here. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Just bring your hands to prayer here. Just sharing gratitude, this opportunity to practice one another and to explore the teachings of yoga and the transformation of our being. Namaste, friends. Those of you on the stream, joining Stephanie, Tammy, others.